It begins quietly. A glass tower in London sells overnight for cash. No mortgage. No questions. The buyer is a company that doesn't exist in any real sense. Inside that single transaction lies the perfect modern crime. Dirty money becomes a luxury condo. Street prices climb by 15%. Families searching for a home are priced out forever. This is the dark economy of real estate, where the walls of our cities become vaults for criminal cash. We have spent months tracing the invisible trails behind these transactions, from the Caribbean tax havens to the skyscrapers of Manhattan to secret accounts in Zurich. What we found is a global system that quietly launders trillions legally. We call it the clean sweep, a system designed to wash money so thoroughly it becomes indistinguishable from legitimate wealth. It starts with a shell. A company that has no office, no employees, no real operations. Its only purpose is to exist on paper. A trafficker, a corrupt politician, or a sanctioned oligarch sends money to a shell corporation, often in the British Virgin Islands or Cyprus. That shell owns another shell, which owns another, until the real person disappears behind a fog of paperwork. Then the final shell purchases a property, perhaps a penthouse in London, entirely in cash. The money is routed through a lawyer's trust account, protected by attorney-client privilege. No bank ever asks questions. No regulator can see the end user. By law, ownership is assigned to the company, not the individual. The ultimate beneficial owner, the human behind the paper, remains invisible. According to Transparency International, more than £6.7 billion worth of property in the United Kingdom is owned by anonymous entities. In New York, it is worse. On Billionaire's Row, over half of the condos are owned through shell companies. No names, no addresses, just layers of secrecy. And most of these purchases are technically legal because the law never demanded to know who was really buying. Once the property is bought, the game becomes even smarter. This is valuation manipulation, but in truth, it's legalized forgery. Shell Company A buys a home for $10 million. A week later, Shell Company B, controlled by the same person, buys that same property for $15 million. That is a $5 million profit on paper. It looks like legitimate income, taxable and recorded. In reality, it's the same dirty money looping through a fake transaction. The difference is now disguised as profit from real estate. We have mapped this pattern across continents. In Miami, it's tied to drug cartels. In Vancouver, to foreign political elites. In London, to oligarch networks exposed in the Panama Papers. Appraisers sign off on inflated values for a fee. Lawyers notarize the deal, knowing it's fake. And the friendly loan between two shell companies completes the illusion. $5 million of untraceable cash becomes $8 million of legitimate wealth, verified by the very systems built to prevent crime. The law is not broken here, it's bent. And everyone in the chain profits from the bend. The third method doesn't rely on paper. It relies on bricks and cement. This is value injection. The criminal buys a mansion and declares massive renovations. $3 million for upgrades, the paperwork says. In reality, maybe $500,000 is spent. The remaining $2.5 million is laundered through fake invoices, inflated labor costs, and cash payments. Construction firms rarely ask questions. Suppliers accept bags of cash. Every new coat of paint and imported marble countertop becomes part of the official value. When the property is sold, that inflated value is locked in as legitimate gain. The renovation scam is so common that watchdogs estimate 30% of construction sector transactions in some countries involve undeclared cash. Yet law enforcement struggles to act. How do you prove that a renovation costing $500,000 didn't actually cost $3 million? The receipts are clean, the permits are valid, and everyone involved has been paid. At this level, crime needs cooperation. And it gets it. Banks, law firms, and realtors all play a part. The Know Your Customer rule, designed to expose real owners, is often ignored when the buyer is foreign or wealthy. Agents are rewarded for closing deals, not asking questions. Banks are rewarded for moving money, not slowing it down. One London agent admitted when a client offers cash and says they represent an overseas trust, the commission doubles and the questions stop. Governments share the blame. Entire nations have built economies on secrecy, from the Cayman Islands to Liechtenstein. Their message to the rich is simple: bring your money here, we'll make it disappear. The cost is carried by ordinary people. When billions of dirty dollars flood property markets, prices surge, homes vanish, and urban centers hollow out into ghost cities of the ultra-rich. In Vancouver, property prices have risen 300% in 2 decades, not from real demand, but from money parking. In London, thousands of flats sit empty, owned by offshore companies whose owners will never live there. Each one a vault, each one a monument to legalized corruption. But every shadow has a light source. Whistleblowers, accountants, lawyers, and data analysts risked everything to expose these systems. The Panama Papers, the Paradise Papers, and the FinCEN files opened a window into the hidden world of anonymous wealth. Through those leaks, governments froze billions in assets, officials resigned, and for a brief moment, the invisible became visible. But even now, the system adapts. The shells move to new havens. The money finds new exits. The same mechanisms evolve faster than the laws meant to stop them. Still, transparency is spreading. Countries like the United Kingdom and Canada have begun implementing ownership registries, small steps toward accountability. But enforcement is weak, and political will is fragile, because the people who could change the system are often the ones it benefits most. The crime is elegant in its simplicity. Take dirty cash. Buy property. Sell it clean. The impact, however, is devastating. Cities are transformed into safe deposit boxes for global crime. Families are priced out. Governments lose billions in tax revenue, money that could build schools, hospitals, and homes. And yet the illusion continues. The towers keep rising and the lights inside them stay off. We believe knowledge is the first line of defense. Every investigation, every document, every exposed loophole brings this hidden system closer to the light. The real estate market is not broken. It has been captured by secrecy, by greed, by a network of enablers who profit from silence. But silence can be broken. Transparency can still win. If you found this investigation valuable, subscribe now and join our community that refuses to look away. Check the description for verified resources on reporting financial crime, understanding ownership laws, and protecting your privacy. Because wealth has a shadow, and we are here to follow it.